Underworld Ministry.
What's up, guys?
What's going on? Thank you for coming back for another week.
I love you guys. Thank
How
you
are
so much.
you guys?
We missed you.
We missed you.
We got a new guest this
If
week.
you guys checked out the last week interview, it was a little different. We did it during the day.
Yeah.
I hope you guys saw that.
That
But it
little-
was with our friend Emily from the UK.
It was pretty fun, but
It
different.
was pretty fun.
It was different.
Trying to do it at 2 in the afternoon was a little crazy.
She's having her dinner tea and putting her kids to sleep while we're finishing our coffee. But it was a lot of fun.
Emily,
so thank
if
you.
you're watching this tomorrow, today, tomorrow, maybe.
It's a little late for her right now.
I hope you're doing good.
Thank you.
We have 3 comments already.
Wow.
Good, it's my birthday.
We're driving home.
So I want to give a big shout out before we start this.
Yeah.
Happy freaking birthday,
Happy
Bonnie.
birthday. Happy birthday, Bonnie.
You and Sarah are the same age now.
Yep.
Almost 30. But you're still the baby.
But all that aside, we do have a new special guest this week.
We do.
Someone we haven't met before.
And here it is. So Misfit Apparitions. Let's bring them up and have a conversation with them. Oh.
Hi.
How you guys doing tonight?
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy.
All right. So let me know about Misfit Apparitions. How do you guys get started? Who started it?
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourselves.
Start on your side.
Me first. Okay, I'm Don. I helped form the team with Mike and Ernest here. We started this at about witching hour at a cemetery known in Texas as Martha's Chapel Cemetery. We went there in the witching hour, and then we'd all discovered that we had an interest in it. And fast forward about a year later, and Crystal joined the team. So, but yeah, I'm Don. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll pass it on.
I'm Ernest.
I'm Crystal.
I'm Mike.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you guys.
It's interesting that you guys met at the witching hour.
Yeah.
Well, we've known each other for many years, so
Yeah.
Got ya. So where are you guys located?
In the Woodland Spring, Texas area near Houston.
Oh.
Okay. Got ya. That's awesome. Never been to Texas.
No.
I've toured around a lot, but never been the west side of.
you should have came here this summer.
Oh,
You would have loved
yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's more of the Texas person. She knows Texas more than we do.
it.
So what is your latest investigation?
Oh, we just came back from Kansas on the day before Thanksgiving. We were at McIntyre Villa in Atchison, and then a couple nights later at the Sally House. Those were the last 2 investigations we've done. They were very good.
We have friends up there. One of our friends that we've done an interview with is from Kansas.
Yeah. So if nobody knows, not in the paranormal world, what the Sally House is, I'll let these guys explain what Sally House is for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sally House is just a regular looking house. It doesn't need the aid of props and other things that we've seen at other places. It kind of is just an entity in of itself. Very kind of homey, normal house, very little furnishings, but it packs quite a punch.
Yeah.
So
what is some of your crazy experiences while investigating the Sally House?
Well, it started immediately as soon as we walked in. Ernest can explain what happened.
Yeah, as soon as we walked into Sally House, Dawn was ahead of me, and he had the code to get in. As soon as I walked in, I heard a little girl's voice say, "Hi." So I was like, "You guys hear that?" I mean, it just started right as soon as we walked in.
Right.
She's saying hi.
So do you believe that Sally is a little girl? Because from what I know, Sally might be another entity. Maybe the D word.
Well, after we experience it, it's probably a possibility.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So if nobody knows, if there's a spirit called Sally, which is called the Sally's house, it's supposed to be a little girl that's supposed to haunt the Sally house.
Hmm.
And this is a picture that was drawn of Sally. From what I know, like I said, it's what is other than you walking in and saying hi, what is some crazy experiences? Because I know the other people that I've talked to from the Sally house, they have hundreds.
yeah.
About a minute after we arrived, I needed to use the restroom. I went upstairs,
Right.
and I was inside the restroom with the door shut. And while I was in there, I heard what sounded like another door opening on the same floor. And so when I finished up, I went downstairs and asked Mike and Ernest if they had been upstairs. They had not. And I had heard that again a few hours later when I was up there.
Wow. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to mention about our live stream. We performed 2 live streams on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And we did a dual Estes method session in 2 locations in the house. And our K2 meters were just off the scale in both times. They would not stop just going to red.
Wow.
Just a lot of answers coming through and growling coming out of the headphones for me and for Ernest later on. We discovered it was definitely alive.
Wow.
Yeah, but after that, those 2 live streams, complete quiet, no activity from the K2s, nothing. And so relaxed a little bit, and ate some food and watched a little something. Kind of made ourselves a little home before we started work again. Until 10 till 1 a.m. when the house just completely shook. There's a video of that you have that'll show that from one angle. We have, I think, 3 video sources and 1 audio source from upstairs, upstairs kind of told us that there was something else in the house on the second floor at the same time we were getting prepared. And while that was happening, there was grunts. There sound like footsteps. We were downstairs. We didn't hear anything.
Wow.
And then one of our surveillance cameras in that room that records audio, for some reason, it conveniently stopped recording audio during that time. It recorded audio after and before, but not during that time. Can't explain that.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much the same stories I've heard from a lot of investigators that investigated that property. I could play this video that you sent me for the Sally's house.
Did you have a list of questions that you had put out, or you just kind of go off the cuff?
I'm just gonna go off.
Well, I wasn't going to ask what kind of questions. I was just wondering if you're.
What was that? Did you hear that? Yeah. Hold on. You got your knife, Mike? Huh? You got your knife?
Did you already turn the kitchen light off or no?
Yeah. You have your knife?
Yeah.
Was there a banging outside?
That was a fucking bang or something.
Yeah. Me outside?
Wow.
Sorry about the cursing.
Yeah, that was kind
That's okay. That's fine.
reaction.
So was that a break-in, or did something fall, or?
No.
We couldn't figure out what it was
as you saw towards the end of that video, we all went outside to see if maybe somebody was just trolling us.
Right.
We looked, you can't really see footprints because there was just dead leaves all over the ground, which Ernest had a good point. If there was somebody walking around outside, we would have heard them because we were being relatively quiet.
Right.
They went back in. I went back out just a few minutes later to see if I could replicate the sounds just by scratching on the windows, banging on them around, trying not to break something, but relatively hard. I couldn't even come close to the replicating that sound, the depth that we felt.
Intensity.
It shook the house.
Right.
Yeah, it was something.
Wow.
Reminds me of a house like right on the train tracks.
Kind of. And I've actually sort of experienced, not paranormal. I'll try to make the story short, but essentially it was one night, it had been storming, and where our house was positioned, like at the back side, there was like a hill that had a road going straight to our house up the hill, but then curved, went around our property, and then just continued down. Anyways, it was storming one night, and the lights flickered. I was just watching TV or whatever. The lights flickered and went out, and they came back on, and then they flickered and went out and stayed out, and then all of a sudden, boom, shook the whole house. Fast forward the next day, we went outside to investigate to see what caused that sound. You can see a trail leading all the way down that one road up the hill. A tornado had come down our street, jumped the hill, and jumped our house, landed in our field, hit the other main road, and started following the tree line all the way up. And we know it was a tornado because of the tracks, and you could see our power pole at the top of it had gotten broken off, like if you break the eraser off of a pencil.
Right.
Completely jumped our house. But that was the closest thing that I can imagine what we heard at that house, the Sally house that night, was that boom, almost exactly like it. There's no way we were replicating that. So I'm kind of just, I don't know. That one.
Yeah. No, that was honestly from what I thought it was like silverware falling, like a tray of silverware. Maybe or pans or something.
Right.
That's crazy. But if the whole house is shaking with that sound,
it really shook.
Wow, that's awesome. Speaking of shocking houses, we can get to the next property. And again, if you're paranormal investigators or you do your research,
you know this house.
You know this house. The Melissa Axe murder house. I can't wait to start talking about this.
Oh, that was.
Unfortunately, it's a very tragic story. If you guys don't know, there was a gentleman that hid in an attic. Family comes home from church. Sorry.
He tells me to put my phone on silent.
Family comes home from church with 6 kids, the mother and father, and they all go to sleep. And unfortunately, they never woke up. So, how do you guys get into this property?
Who wants to talk about this one?
Well, I will first start off with Don likes to kind of get the big ones out of the way. So he throw you under the bus. He got us here, and I will say he fell asleep first. I'm gonna just throw that out there. But
that's the night I discovered Monster Energy drinks.
Yes, he was shaking.
I was the last one to sleep.
But it's just during setup, you could feel the energy. We had some orb balls that we had laid out, and just during setup, they were going off and moving around. And we later tried to replicate that, and it was not replicatable. And I say that because they flew off of shelves in the downstairs. So it was very interesting, I would say the least, and freezing.
Yes,
it was cold. Yeah,
from Texas to Iowa in that time of year, we went there in November.
Oh,
we're not prepared.
Oh,
We don't own Jack and
All I
Jill.
gotta say about that one is, ooh.
Yeah, we're from Florida.
Yeah, so,
Hopefully you guys packed warm.
Yeah.
it was a good experience, though. Yeah, there's a little snow on the ground, and
Yeah. I picked a couple pictures to show what the house looked like. So from what I understand, this gentleman broke into the house, sat in this attic until the whole family came home. And when they went to sleep, unfortunately, he came out with an axe and unfortunately murdered the whole family.
So I wouldn't exactly call him a gentleman.
No.
Yeah. So upstairs in the bedrooms, I mean, you can still see the axe marks on the ceiling.
Yeah, up above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
So did you get any apparitions of like children, or did you get anything with children, or?
A
We had
lot
some
of the
weird stuff
spirits,
happen.
some stuff happened. I was in the Stillinger room, which is downstairs bedroom with the two visitor girls that were staying there. When the
Got
last one supposedly killed, and I sat there for a while, and I just became overrun with emotion. I had to walk out of the house.
Wow.
Ernest had experienced some
Yeah.
knocking or some noises.
Well, when I was there, I was after we set up and we had a little podcast there. I was actually in the attic by myself for a while, and I came down. And as soon as I came down the stairs, I heard footsteps above, and that's when I radio in. And Crystal, I said, "Is anybody in the house?" And Crystal's like, "Nope, just you." And even the whole time that we set up, we were always in and out of the attic. And that one
Yeah.
time that we went into the attic, it was me, Don, and Mike. We smelled cigarette smoke.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
That was, we had, like I said, we'd been in there in and out the whole time. And that one time, you could actually smell cigarette smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah, from
I
Go
would say
ahead,
we
I'm
do our
sorry.
best to like keep an eye on each other, to make sure that we can debunk anything,
Right.
even
Right.
down to someone watching the cameras as we separate and go and investigate different areas, just so that there's someone there kind of scripting, like, what's going on. And if something's heard, we can look at the cameras and see, was someone actually there? And
Right.
did it happen, or did we catch anything on video?
Wow.
There was a session that Crystal and I did in the attic. I think it was the last session of the night, right? And I was just instigating. Probably not a good thing to do in that house, but
I know.
You're not supposed to do
Go ahead.
that.
Go ahead.
so I just kept just saying things like, "You're a coward." Just the things that you would tell anybody that murders kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Crystal had taken off the headphones and said, "We were told to get the F out."
Wow.
We
Yeah,
lasted
I've
for a
been
while.
told that that's happened. That's the last person that we had a conversation with about the Visca. They said that they had got a lot of children EVPs. So I didn't know if that was a thing that you guys caught, or
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely a child's voice that said it. But I mean, it goes to question, was it a child or not? But I mean, it definitely was the voice of a child.
right.
We did one thing that Don and Mike were in the attic and I was in the kids' room upstairs. And that's the first time I've had my full name mentioned. We don't go by telling first and last name to each other as we walk around, but my full name was mentioned. That was kind of weird.
On a voice recorder or spirit box, or
Spirit box, because I was asking who are the people in this house,
right.
and my full name was mentioned.
Wow. That's crazy. So from what I know, that the gentleman that did it is still there. Do you think he's still there?
That's a good question.
Well, we kind of talked a little bit about the portal.
So
Ooh, I love that word.
yeah, so, during this trip, we investigated another place that we'll talk about, and within that, they talk about portals and being able to go between some of these spots that you investigate in that area. And we do our best to not read any of they have like a notebook that you can sit there and write in. And we don't read anything until we leave. And then you know how you have those aha moments, like, oh, we smelled the cigarette smoke, or oh, that happened. And we went to another location, and some of the same things they had talked about transpired through the portal from Villisca to the other. And it's a study. I don't remember what the group was called.
Oh,
that was.
I took a picture.
Yeah. Scrying, right?
Yeah.
Talk about the scrying mirrors?
Scrying mirrors,
Yeah,
yeah.
scrying mirrors, yeah.
There's one at Villisca and one at the other location we went to.
Yeah.
They took one down. The lady that did the tour at the mansion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's in the attic.
Took one down. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I would say it was Destination Fear. It wasn't Project Fear yet. I don't know if you watch Destination Fear, Project Fear on YouTube, but it's Dakota Landing and Chelsea and everybody. They did. Half of them were in the Villisca house. Another one was in a hotel that was like a couple blocks away. That supposedly the guy that murdered them was staying at that hotel. And they had a lot of collaboration that actually went together for those two locations.
You sure that wasn't Sam Goat?
No, it was Destination Fear. If you guys want to check that out,
It's on.
but yeah, they do a certain hotel because from what I know, they think it was a drifter that was on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And stayed at that hotel and just picked that certain house to do that at, or I don't. That's what I know.
The serial killer theory.
Yeah, I would say we're kind of split because we did talk about that, like what our theories were. Like I'm totally on it was a drifter and he caught the train after.
Right.
I don't really feel like he is there. I would say that the heaviness is there from what happened.
What I like to call an imprint.
Yeah.
This horrific event, and it kind of just stays in that house, and but that's a really cool story. I want to get to Villisca so bad. we need to get out there. I've been to the East Coast. I've been a lot of places, but oh man, we'll get there one day, hopefully. So the next one, actually, we will get into a video. Oh, actually, no. So one by one, explain what your one favorite piece of equipment to use in an investigation.
I think the K2 is a really good tool, especially after what we experienced at Sally House. I'd never seen it stay where it went for so long. We were live for quite a long time, and it just didn't let up. There was one part where I actually was trying, it was like, please, just stop, just calm down. It was just crazy, but I've always geared toward the K2. It's a useful tool, yeah.
We love K2 also.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the spirit boxes. That's I hear my name a lot, and my name Ernest is not very popular.
Right, it's a very
hear my name.
Yeah,
hear my name. I love that. So.
Well, I guess it really depends on what era you're trying to talk in. I guess because I mean
that's true.
It might not be common there, but it could have been common like 40, 50 years ago in that era. Yeah. Maybe.
I've never seen a ghost from the 90s.
Yeah. We were talking about that at Sally too at one point. We're like, we never see ghosts of people from like the 2000s. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
yeah.
Just on Spirit Box, get it's Britney, bitch.
Right. They don't have the Wi-Fi password to.
Right, right. They're not walking around with Jinkos and a CD player.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to come over a spirit box.
What?
Wi-Fi password, please.
Yeah, this is no Wi-Fi. It sucks. You know?
It's gonna come back on. Like and subscribe.
So
Alright.
I would say mine is the spirit box, but it's only when it's used in a certain fashion. So one of the things that, we try to do at least in every investigation is someone will write questions down that only they know and they've written down. They haven't shared with anyone else in the group. And then someone will go and sit in that location, blindfolded, headphones on that can only hear the spirit box. The spirit box is not being played out loud. And the questions are being asked, and the person that is interpreting the spirit box, which is either usually myself or Ernest, most of the time, will transcribe what is being said on the spirit box. And the experiences that we've had and the communication has been very clear and concise, I would say, to everything. And granted, we really do pride ourselves on just being genuine and who we are. And if we catch something, great. And if not, we didn't. I mean, we're not there to get views or likes. We're really there because we enjoy this and we want to experience it. So we're not going to do anything unauthentic. So we make sure that whoever's writing their questions down, no one else is seeing them, and we have someone transcribing as they're asking, and we're speaking to what we hear coming out of the spirit box. So that would be one of my favorites.
That's awesome. I've never heard of that. So that's called the SS method, correct?
Yes. Right. Yes, but I know a lot of people don't understand it, so I usually kind of try to describe it because they're like, "What are you doing? I'm going to go Google that."
No, absolutely, absolutely. I try to talk about it all the time, and people are like, "What?"
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's the look you get. Is that a metaphor?
You're talking gibberish to me right now. I don't. All right.
Oh, you might.
Honestly, I'd have to say my favorite piece of equipment's not necessarily exclusive to paranormal stuff. I like my camera. And it's not even it's my older phone that I use, which gets great audio because my phone has it's a Samsung Galaxy, so it has the I'm drawing a blank here. Basically the sound. If sound comes from behind the phone on the right, you're going to hear it if you have headphones. That's the direction.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Webcam, and I just like to build things, so I built my own little homemade rig for my camera and my webcam and stuff.
Wow.
And we seem to get pretty decent stuff on it. So
yeah, Mike's videos are really good.
I get pretty crisp pictures, crisp video on it.
For any of our Android lovers.
Yeah, for any of our Android lovers out there.
Yeah, people ask me that all the time. They're like, "Oh, what do you have for paranormal?
Yeah.
What should I get?" Like your phone. You carry it around every day.
Yeah.
Like literally, you're at a location and you forget you're just hanging out and you find this creepy place. Pull out your phone. You have a camera. You have a voice recorder. You have everything.
Yep.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was to say I even downloaded an app. The EMP or EMF. And if you think about it, it actually works because it uses the magnets or whatever, the gyros inside the phone that they use for GPS.
Yeah.
So you can test it. You put it on your phone, you put it up to like a computer or something, it'll go off because it's detecting that electromagnetic field.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel like the app's legitimate as far as I'm concerned. I like that one too. So I guess the EMF reader too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to a fort here in St. Pete. It's called Fort DeSoto. It's about 30 minutes from us. And I downloaded the Necrophonic.
I've seen that
Like
app.
that's-
I haven't used it.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, necrophonics.
And we were in the fort, and I just put it next to the bar where the cells used to be,
Mm.
and it told me to get out and fort. So I can't say if it works, but it was pretty clear to me of get out. It's the fort. Like you're not supposed to be here.
Mm.
So if you want to check out the necrophonic, you said you guys like apps.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Okay.
It's only a couple bucks, I think it is, but we've had pretty good luck with it so far. I also like the spirit box. That's my favorite, and cat balls. I love
Yeah.
Balls,
Yeah.
I call them orb balls, but yeah,
Yeah,
I love
cat
those.
balls.
Especially if you're like sitting there looking at the cameras, and you know nobody's in there, and you see them going off like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
You get super excited.
Yeah, we went to a cemetery here, and we had just put a couple cat balls on a couple tombs and walked away. And like I had just so glanced over, and there was like just one going off in the middle of a tomb, and like 2 o'clock in the morning in a cemetery. 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have these. One's a dinosaur. One's
Oh, the little
They-
animals. thing.
yeah, they're little animals,
that's
and like,
cool.
you touch them, they change color. So
Oh,
Right.
we've tried those. Like I've put them on graves. What holiday was it that I went out there and did that cemetery one with those?
Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day,
Yeah.
yeah. And we did like the Civil War, all that kind of stuff. We put them out,
Right.
and they were very active and very accurate. So it's just it's basically the orb balls, but with inside
Yeah.
the character.
That's pretty cool. That's a good trigger object too for the good kids to play with and everything. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Especially when they're inside of a balloon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Put them inside a balloon.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
So before we get into more pictures, I want to get into a couple videos because you sent me some awesome. We have not watched any of these videos, so we are reacting the same way you are watching this. So let's play one of the videos and then we'll have a conversation about it after.
What the hell? What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Did you hear that?
Yes, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Scratches, right?
That wasn't a scratch. What is that? It did it again.
I picked it up here.
That was a no.
That's
That
a
was
voice.
that was a voice.
Yeah.
I picked it up here. Who's here with us?
That was very real.
Deep voice?
No, it was almost like it was coming from that, but it wasn't. It was definitely coming from this room.
It was high pitch.
It was pretty high pitch. Yeah.
Apologies about the bad words.
Yeah.
And the
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Honestly, it's okay. We're all
This should be
investigators. We all have emotions, and when stuff happens to me, I say the same exact words.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very
We're
versatile.
all adults here.
do you want to go over this video, explain where it's at, what was going on?
You want to tell them?
About that one.
Domain. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. This is Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas. Supposedly
Okay.
one of the
I've heard of this one.
most haunted places in Texas, but
It's
we
listed under most haunted places in America.
in America. Okay. Yeah, we stayed there in another cold night in January of 2022, and we were up in Toby's room. Kathy Estes, the owner, gave a really good tour and explanation about Toby, the demon, resident demon that lives there.
Got you.
So we were in his
The
room.
E word.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The one
we
we
were in
have.
his room, and we recorded this. What came? It didn't come from a spirit box. It wasn't a spirit box at all. It just came out of the blue.
Ears.
And the person was frightened
Wow.
that talked about that, and it's said
Oh,
what
yeah.
the that.
Yeah.
And we put on the screen what
Yeah.
we believe what was said, and we got some confirmation. Well, earlier we got videos from Kathy's husband, Sonny. He was feeding us 30-second videos of things that were going on while we were in the house, while we were investigating. Such a really nice
Right.
thing to do.
Yeah, having a
Oh.
man.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just sending us stuff all night, and
Wow.
he sent us this but we were in a different position using their. They shot from their angle, so this was our video shot of the same incident, but the text is the same. What's there? So that
Wow.
was interesting. That night was we all experienced something.
So
That
did
lingered for us
somebody-
for a long time.
It's like we had a many sleepless nights returning.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
I
was,
bet. I
there
bet.
was some crazy stuff that went on afterwards.
So do you guys, when you sleep at night, do you guys like separate into your own little locations, or you guys kind of stick together?
Kind of done both.
I
Done
think it
both.
depends on the location.
Yeah.
When it's cold,
Yeah.
we stick together.
Yeah.
We find the warmest place in the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the weather is nice, we have been known to just kind of all find a room and sleep there,
Yeah.
and have our equipment, out in our room throughout the night.
Right.
Nice.
Got ya. All right. So we're gonna play a couple more videos, and then I'll get into a different question. Here's another one for you guys.
Hey, Toby.
Wow. Again, outside Toby's house.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's on a spirit box, correct?
Yeah, that was from the spirit box. They have like a portal spirit box.
Okay. Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah, we were outside. Ernest was in Toby's room. I was outside in the, I guess the area where the room's all outside the stairwell on the second
Right.
floor. And that's when I had said, "Hey, Toby," and then 5 seconds later, you hear, "Hey, Don."
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that one. That's why I like doing these blind reactions. Like even I'm watching, I was wow, that's awesome. So let's get into one more video.
Is Gracie here? Is Susie here? How about the young lady whose husband dropped her off? Is lighting up. If you're here, show us. You can move this object in the middle to yes. Well, I'm sorry that someone that worked here hurt you and took advantage of you.
Hand on her hand.
So did it ever move to yes?
No, nothing got moved on the Ouija board. No,
Yeah.
but Crystal can.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully you closed the board, correct?
Crystal's an expert at it. Yeah.
Yes, we definitely close board every single time.
Okay.
But so there were, so the K2 meter was going off
Yeah.
to the point of answering all the questions, and the names. We would say the names, and Dawn remembers them
Gracie
vividly.
and Sally, and there was a woman. This is the Malvern Manor in Iowa. This is the
Yeah.
second night of,
Okay.
of our visit, and the woman that was dropped off by her husband because her husband didn't want anything to do with her anymore, right?
Yeah.
So she was responding to Crystal's question.
Wow.
So
So
when
was
you,
this like a poor farm?
So it had been a couple of things. It had been a hotel. It had been like a mental institution. It had been, I want to say they had talked about like a respite area / mental institution. Um,
It was a
what?
nursing home.
It
for
was a
long
nursing
time.
home. Yeah. I mean, it had also been, what is the technical term for a brothel?
Oh,
Brothel.
Speakeasy?
Speakeasy. Yeah. So, I mean, it had been a multitude of things.
yeah, very old
So
building.
when you first get there and they show you around and tell you the backstories of each room and who occupied the room, I was just saying some of the names of the people they had told us resided there at some point.
Right. Right.
Mostly like to interact with females because they were females themselves. And so I was just kind of saying the names that were told to us, and we were getting, the reciprocation from the K2 meter just going off the wall from saying those names.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
That's
videos.
what I like about the K2 meter.
Yeah, they it's tricky how what they pick to use. Like it's like you're
Yeah.
trying to get this to work, but something around the corner is working more.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it.
Yeah, you gotta go
Like
with it.
I want you to use this right here.
Not that.
Not that. Come over
Come
here.
here.
Come here. But we went over there.
Well, if you ever go to Villisca, make sure you go to
We'll
Malvern,
go into
Iowa. It's just
Malvern?
about maybe 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
Malvern, Iowa. It's the Malvern Manor. It's a 2-story, probably 30,000 square feet building that used to be all those places, and it's kind of like going back in time to when it was last opened in the 90s. Everything's still there. The nurses station is still there. There's still wheelchairs everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. There's still wood paneling upstairs. There's rooms that have old TVs.
I was even the records, patient records,
Oh yeah.
are still there. So you can, I'm nosy, so I like to read. So I'm going and reading all the patient records and see what I can find on Google.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We actually do have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Have y'all ever gone to Bowers Mansion?
Bowers.
In Palestine, Texas.
No, we have not. I've researched that. We also do a podcast, and that's one episode that we did recently. They operate through one of these outfits that invite people to come over, and you go in there for a couple hours or whatever. I've texted the owner, emailed the owner to see if they had any overnights, but she had stated that they only allow visitations through this outfit. But they do have private tours, so if we ever wanted to do it, we would probably go that route, just because as much as we like to keep it all real and authentic, we also like very little any interference from other things to get kind of to not skew anything.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that if you've got a group of 20 people and you're hearing something in the room.
Oh yeah.
It's no offense to that. I think it's a great start for people that want to, get their feet wet, and that's great.
Right.
So
yeah, we actually have an event just like that in January. Hint. We told everybody we were going to drop hints from now to January. So if anybody's watching this, that was the first hint. Just saying. I had to throw that one in there.
We do have another question from my mother. Do you ever do any investigating in Navasota?
Navasota.
That's where I went to school. I went to school in Navasota.
I knew that. I knew you guys were going to correct that. We were going to get that so wrong.
No, yeah, I actually went to. That's where I grew up. Was in Navasota. But no, we haven't done any investigating there. No, not since.
No. Okay.
Are you holding out on us? What's going on?
I'm gonna have to start looking up some of our history. I know we got some old buildings there.
Awesome.
That's a good question.
So to get back to the pictures, we have a couple more. So this is from what I know about this. It was a gentleman, a goat hoarder, and unfortunately, The KKK came, and he was an African American gentleman, and hung him from the bridge. And they went to go pull the rope back up, and there was no more person at the end of the rope.
Mhm.
This is Goatman Bridge.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, I want to know about your experiences with this so bad.
You can clearly see us, right?
Yeah. We're there somewhere. We were up in Gainesville, Texas this past, was it September?
I think so.
Yeah, and doing an investigation at Hill House Manor. But
Okay.
Boatman's Bridge is just about 30, 45 minutes away, so we broke away for a little bit and went there. You know, I wish the first impression I had of it would have been better.
Right.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a hangout for kids.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people
down there.
drinking and smoking, and it was
Yeah.
very crowded.
Wow. Yeah.
So unfortunately, all we had were pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one from Chris's Facebook asking a question. What about El Paso? Have y'all ever been there to investigate anything?
No, we haven't been there either, but I've been through there before, and I would like to go because me and this girl I was dating at the time were on vacation out in that area, and we came across a legitimate ghost town, like you would see in an old Western movie. There, we've even found an old cemetery that fit the entire, like a legitimate ghost town in like the west part of Texas. It was really cool. But no, we haven't investigated anything there now.
I feel like places like that give you really good B-roll.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I wish I was doing this back then. Oh God.
Yeah.
Of course, I have the phone I have now.
So unfortunately, you didn't catch anything at the bridge due to people
Oh, no,
there.
there's too many people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
That's the bad part about places being popular.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like once they're popular, they're really popular, and like it's impossible to do anything with them once there's people there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
And you go to a place and you try to find parking. That's when it's
Yeah.
I hate parking.
that's the number one headache in the whole world right there.
We're like, do we
trying
need
to
to
find
pay
freaking
for it?
parking.
Do we need to find it? Do we need to get there an hour early?
You spend an hour in Florida trying to find parking and then find out you have to pay like $5. I'm like,
Right.
I hate living in
Or
tourist
pay
areas.
per hour.
I live where you tour. Thank you. So, unfortunately, if you do want to know more about that Goatman Bridge, look it up. It's a pretty crazy story and history to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So we will move to the next one, which is another one that I really want to talk about. It's Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Any crazy experiences in this place?
Yeah. Oh, that place. Another cold night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to be a running theme here.
Honestly, I'm a big guy. I'd much rather investigate in cold than hot.
Thank you. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to be in that
I
place
agree.
in the summertime.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'd much
Oh, that
rather
place-
be in 20-degree weather than 90 and 100.
ugh.
Oh, God.
So
Yorktown was a very unique experience, I think. At the basement, there's 2 floors, and the very small apartment upstairs on the second floor.
Priest room.
The priest room.
Yeah.
There were some places that it was so big I didn't get to go to everything. I was kind of overwhelmed with a lot of things, but the things that we heard, Ernest and I heard what sounded like machine shop noise in the operating room area.
well,
Yeah.
Which is weird. Mike even had an experience where he actually turned around.
Yeah, I was walking down this one wing, excuse me, and I was going towards like the birthing rooms, like, you know, where they would have babies. And for some reason, and I'm the skeptic of the group. I don't really believe. It's think of me like Mulder. I want to be scratched. Prove to me.
Right.
You know, that's why I kind of want to do this. I like it. I think it's fun. But anyway,
me too.
I get to the end, and I don't get spooked that easy. But I get to the end of this hallway, and I didn't get scared. It was just like a weird instinct. I just stopped. I just stood there for a second. I was like, I'm good. And I just turned around and walked the other way. I just got just a weird feeling. And I just turned around. I'm done with that.
We when I lived up in PA, we were urban exploring. And we were walking down. It was an old asylum in Baltimore. And we were just got bored and drove to Baltimore. I used to live in Pennsylvania, so we would just drive there to places because we were bored.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Ronnie were walking down one of the hallways, and we both turned around at the same time and looked at each other like, did you heard that, right? Or is that just me? Am I going crazy? Or it literally sounded like somebody went like right in my ear, and we both turned around. So I know exactly what you're talking about with that instinct, like, oh shit, all right. But oh man, so this is a picture of you said the chapel.
Yes.
Yes, that's inside the chapel. There's an actual right in front in the center. There is a casket.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's it's so sitting in there was interesting.
Is there anything
empty
in it?
casket?
What's that?
Is it an empty casket?
Yeah.
Yes, we opened it.
We did open it. Yeah.
It's got no Oddfellows thing
We
going
thought about
on. Right. So, did anything happen in the church, or?
We had an instant where we heard someone, and it's one of those where you radio in and check where everybody's at.
Yeah. Right.
And there was nothing that at that moment and where everybody's location was that could justify it. There was one other incident that we were able to debunk and say, okay, that was, someone else's radio or someone else talking in the priest room behind. But there is one instance I was at the top. It's like an overlook where you look down. So like if you were standing up there, you would look down on, Dawn, like in the picture, and then you can see like, kind of like the congregation's up at the top.
Right. Right.
And I hear a man's voice, and I radioed in because I was alone at the time to see where everyone was. And Mike was on a smoke break outside. I checked everyone, and I'm like, okay, I'm the only one still up here, and this is, I think it's time to go.
That's her. That's her. Leaving, I'm like, oh, I'm going for a smoke. Cool. I'm in here by myself.
If I don't get a smoke break, there's going to be additional ghosts before the end of the show.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, exactly. That actually reminded me, we had put a cat ball down on the main floor where, I don't know if that was Ernest in that picture you showed, but it was, or maybe it was Don. But we put a cat ball in, we put a cat ball in there after that. And we also put one in the balcony area upstairs right above it. And I want to say at one point, both of those cat balls were going nuts.
Yeah.
And nobody was in there.
Yeah.
So that's just another little thing.
I feel like that's when that picture was taken because they went to go investigate.
Is that what that was? Okay.
On.
So maybe the ball was further out of frame.
So those cat balls, man. It's the cheapest piece of equipment, and they work every time.
Yeah.
What about the basement? What about that? How do you get a jail built down there? They had a cage in the basement.
Because we did the asbestos method down there.
Yeah, there was a method done, and Ernest got inside the cage.
I remember
going on.
I remember we did the day tour walking around Eastern State Penitentiary while I was in Philly. And it's a walking tour, it's a self-tour, and you put these headphones on and you can type in the numbers, and it tells you a story about that cell or that person or something. So I'm walking around listening to this and looking at all the cells and everything, and I'm going by, and I swear on everything, there's a Nissan Maxima in one of the cells.
What?
Like, I will show you a picture. I will send you a picture if I can find it. I'm gonna go find it after this. There's a whole car. I don't know how. I don't. Like, none of the bricks are gone. Like, did you make this before it came out and you just never brought it out?
It's like the
Or
equivalent of a ship in a bottle.
yeah. Like, and like, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of Eastern State, but the cells aren't big at all. Like, it was literally cell and like car. Like, it literally just went in and like they must have rebuilt the bricks around it or something. Or
maybe it was
but
small.
yeah, it was the craziest thing. Yeah. I'll send a picture to you guys once the video. Yeah, but like, I was dumbfounded. I was like,
How did they
how?
get this?
I was like, out of all of this, an old ass penitentiary falling apart, you know, listening to all this history,
2012 Nissan.
and then a Nissan Maxima. I was like, all right.
You know what? Whoever did that did their job and they accomplished what they wanted because we're talking about it.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
Now. What the
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll bet you that I wonder how many people are just gonna walk by and go, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. You probably scour the internet for people who visit there and find the exact same picture that everybody was taking.
Oh yeah,
Different
absolutely.
height.
Absolutely. So we have a couple more videos to show you guys. Same deal. Play the video, and then we'll have a conversation after.
Hold up, we gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the light fell, was the white door behind everything open already, or did that door open too?
I want to say
That's
that
the
door
entry
was
door, right?
already open.
Yeah, it was already cracked open.
There's the closet door and then the door to the hallway right next to it. And I want to say they were already in the position, like open as far as they were. I think.
Got you. Okay.
I wasn't looking at that, to be honest. I was looking at the camera.
Yeah, I want to watch that one more time.
Just to be sure. Watch the door.
Wow.
The K2 started going off as soon as the lamp fell.
Yeah. So where is this?
This is in Atchison, Kansas, McIntyre Villa.
Okay.
So we had gotten there and got our tour from Stephanie, the owner, and we set up our cameras. We decided where we're going to put them all.
Right.
And Mike had decided to put this one up on a really tall tripod. And
right.
He's very good at that, and it's set up in the corner.
Yeah.
So it had been up for hours.
Yeah.
So we were downstairs preparing for our live stream, and we were, I think, split up. I was in the kitchen. They were like 8-10 feet away from me. And I hear this bang because the kitchen is right below where this happened.
Right.
And so I asked them, did y'all hear that? No, it was so loud. And they said, no, we didn't hear anything. So as good investigators as we are, we just continued doing what we were doing.
Right.
instead of going to investigate what the noise was.
Did you hear that? Oh, okay.
Nah.
So,
Hear what? No, I'm gonna go this way.
Right.
When we did the live stream and we were gave a tour of the place to the viewers, that's when we realized that's what fell because it was on the ground.
Yeah.
So people say, "Oh, there's a string attached to it," blah blah blah. But that's the cable. And if you look, it never moved.
Right.
So I don't know why it failed. I contacted Stephanie, and she had a surveillance camera, which is what this is, and she sent it to us, and we wanted to know what had happened, and I don't know why it happened.
Also, the way I propped it up was because there was like just a normal, like narrow, maybe 3 or 4 inches gap between the bed and the wall, and that I just took the tripod and I leaned it into the corner, so there was no way for it to just fall.
Yeah.
Like he said, it had already been up for a while before that
Right.
fell.
Yep.
And if you look through that open doorway on the floor, you can't really tell what it is until you know
Looks like a
somebody.
line.
There's going to be like a little line, like diagonal on the floor. That's where I taped all of the cables to the floor, so we don't walk and trip around on them when they get the lights out.
Right. Right.
So there was nothing that could have pulled the cables. Like it just decided to finally just, I'm going to fall over.
And that was upstairs while we were downstairs.
Yeah, that was upstairs. I mean, nobody was upstairs either. Nobody was on that floor when that happened.
Is there claims of poltergeist activity or?
Well, in that room, there's a doll behind glass that has human hair.
It's like a marionette.
Yeah, it actually has human hair.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
I don't like
that. Yeah, she unfortunately she stays in storage
because I don't like her.
Off the premises.
Don't blame you.
But
we don't get along.
yeah, she is very
Creepy.
very haunted.
Me?
I love my doll. we actually own 4 haunted dolls.
Are you sure?
Nice.
No, because you have at least 3 in storage.
Okay, sorry, we own 5 now.
Yeah.
Even better.
4 or 5. I don't. It's still yet to be determined if one that I found in Goodwill is actually haunted or not.
Yeah, they but the doll that I have, her name is Shannon. She was passed down from 1920 from my best friend's family.
Wow.
And she sets off the K2. We did a little investigation with her, and I was holding her like a baby. And I said, "Do you want me to put you down?" And on the spirit box, it says, "Sit down." So,
No.
I love my doll. But let's get into another video, and then we can chat about it.
Downstairs?
No.
Camera, you can see the thing going on online.
What was that shot across? Is that the flashlight or?
It was some type of white mist that when you hear it go by, you could just hear like a whoosh. And it was me and Mike. It was right after the Ouija board. Of course, this is Malvern Manor.
Oh,
okay.
And that's when we had the other clip you showed us with the Ouija board.
Right.
And as soon as they closed the session, Mike and I were the ones recording.
Right.
And we heard a footstep upstairs. So Mike and I went up there right as soon as we got up to the stairs, and that's when we heard that whoosh. So it
Wow.
was, I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't have a flashlight, I don't think.
We did. Well, it's because I was relying because the webcam that I used hooked up to my phone, it's automatically detects low light, so it'll switch from normal to low light view. And that's why in that video you can hear that click, and you can all of a sudden see color. Then it's black and white. It's changing because I'm getting too close to the wall and it's detecting its own light. But anyways,
Got you.
oh shit, what was I going with that?
So is it like a phantom light? It's got the IR and UV light to it.
Right. It's just got the series of the red lights around the lens itself.
Right.
That's handy because I can pick up other low light cameras with my low light camera. So it's nice to know if they already have cameras installed. So, but yeah. But that's what we were relying on. At least I was at that time. No flashlights, just my phone, because you couldn't really see very much without. So
right.
Yeah.
So the people that I'm trying to put out comments while you guys talk, but we have viewers on my Facebook also. I want to give a shout out to Sims, Tifa, and Andrew. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's people that I can't. They're messaging on the phone at the same time, so we're trying to get to it.
Like on his personal Facebook, we don't.
People yell at us all the time. They're like, "Well, you see our comments, but don't say anything." So
Yep.
there you go, guys.
So excuse me if you see me like looking down at this because I'm pulling up comments that are coming through on his Facebook.
Sure.
So we have 2 more videos, but going through all your pictures and finding all these cool places, I came across this picture, and I really want to know what this is.
Army of Minions.
They look so intent too. They're like, "What's going
on?" Well,
we just came up with an idea to, being ghost hunters, we came up with an idea to read ghost stories to students. And we were just, they picked out, was it around Halloween, right? Or October?
Right. Well, we all work in the school system, so that's why we had access to that.
But what was crazy is that as we were reading, I read, Don read, but in the whole thing, they just kept doing this. All they wanted to do was ask questions: where we've been, what we've seen, what we've heard. So at some point, we had to just put the book down, just answer questions. But I thought that was cool. That
No, that is really awesome.
Because a lot of campuses, they'll have like the policemen come, the firemen. So we were just a little different. We're ghost hunters.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's really cool.
I love that.
You probably piqued a couple interests into future paranormal investigators, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
But
teacher too.
Influence the young. That's great. I love it.
So what grade was this?
6th grade.
Oh, they're so little.
Got you. That's awesome. Yeah, I was going through Velisca, Goatman Bridge, Sally House, and then that. I was like, oh, I want to know what that is.
Creepy horror stuff.
Process.
Haunted houses, and then you got a picture of you guys.
No, that's awesome though. That's cool. That sounds like a really cool idea.
Yeah,
we should. I don't know how that's possible, but that'd be really fun to do with kids.
Be in the school
Probably
system.
pull it off around like holiday, like around Halloween.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to a local campus or something, see if they'd be into that.
Yeah,
have
there's
some paranormal. And read ghost stories to the kids for the holidays.
There's there's a day, I don't know the date right offhand, but there's a Read Across America. It's a date that most schools usually let people come in and like read books, and that's another good opportunity to do that.
That's cool.
I'm gonna have to.
We'll look that up later.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to look that one up.
Don't let the ADHD brain take over.
Earlier.
That says a lot good for me.
Anyway.
We just got a couple more videos we wanted to go over with you guys.
But first, everybody that's watching this right now, all of the interviews that on YouTube right now, we put on Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify right now,
and you
want to see all the videos and you want to see who we're talking to, go over to our YouTube. All the videos, I take all the audio off of every interview we do, and I put them on Spotify. So if you want to see all the videos and pictures and everything we're doing, go over to our YouTube. And I'm going to play this for you real quick. But go like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. We do this for you guys. We love this. We love talking to groups all over the United States. And just like last week, we went all the way to UK. So we do this for you guys.
We're
So go
slowly
like
spreading
and
out.
follow.
We're slowly spreading out.
Yeah.
So we have a couple more videos that we'll go over, and then we'll get to the question of the week like always. Here's another video for you.
Dude, I just saw some eyes back there.
Shut up.
No, I'm not lying.
Well, Crystal and Sergio came out.
No, it's like green eyes in there.
In there?
Yes.
No, boo buddy, it's always cold.
Wow. Was that coming off the DVR camera?
No, that green light was not what he saw.
Yeah.
No, that was
Okay.
coming off another device. But that was at Haunted Hill House again in Toby's room. But Ernest is what?
Yeah, like Don said, that's Haunted Hill House. That was in Toby's room. And where you see that little section of the attic,
Yeah.
that you see me flash the light, in
Right.
that little piece, I saw green eyes. And so I was like, you see me in the video, I'm kind of like doing this numbers. I was like, what is
Yeah.
that? And I tell Don, because he's sitting next to me, I said, dude, I just saw green eyes. And his reaction was, I was probably playing around. He's like, shut up. I said, no, I did see green eyes. And Don can tell you about what the person that was there wrote a book about her stay.
Who was that? One of the authors. I read her book.
Was it Martha?
Her last name is Teal Gray, I think it is. Teal Gray, an author that stayed there. I think she mentioned in the book that, yeah, it's green eyes. Even there's a portrait of, I guess, their interpretation of what Toby looks like.
Wow.
But Asmodeus is his demon name, the D name.
Yeah.
Asmodeus.
The big D name.
And seeing those green eyes, we didn't know at the time. Crystal was in what was that room? What's his name?
Joshua's room.
Joshua's room.
She was reading a story to him.
So
and she experienced something too in that room.
So she can tell you what she was doing in there, which kind of
about the same time.
It's the line of when I saw the green eyes.
Wow.
So, I mean, we do try to like research in the aspect of what other people have used to trigger certain things, or to, you know, for example, reading a certain book will gain their attention, or doing something, or you know, if the big D word is wanting to play a role of a child, you know, you can play into the role of the child and do those things. So like within reading like a children's book, the K2 meter was going off like no tomorrow. We did record the reading of the book, and I know the guys picked up on some things because they go back and really research all the recordings in detail, so that we only put out, you know, things that are of value. But I'll let them talk about what they heard.
She had heard, because this is video that you shot.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal had heard a growl after she read this story to Joshua. She heard a growl, and she even says, "Oh, that was not Joshua." And she didn't. She felt her hair being moved, her hands getting warm, I think. Yeah. And that's about that same time was when Ernest had seen the green eyes, because I kind of pieced up the timeline a little bit. And yeah, they come out of the room and came into Toby's room, and was it right after Ernest had seen the green eyes?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I've never seen green eyes or any eyes. I really want to now.
Yeah.
Well, he's seen red eyes.
Really...
Ernest saw red eyes at Sally House, so.
Yeah, we didn't get to that part, but I did see red eyes at Sally House recently.
Wow. So does that go along? Does that go along with the D word?
Yes.
Yes.
We think so.
Got ya. All right. We have one more video, and then we'll get to the question of the week.
But there's nothing right here.
What's that?
Grandpa going up upstairs,
You mean downstairs?
downstairs.
I was like, we're already upstairs.
So that where I was getting all that reading from, I left her down there.
Oh,
That
okay.
one spot where it wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Okay, did y'all catch that?
Like something like went across the window.
Right.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
put that on TikTok to see what people thought. I thought it was a truck. It kind of looked like the shape of a truck, but we were on the 3rd floor of this jail.
Wow.
This jail stands about 80 feet from the street. And I did all the physics work to see how angled and all what the street light was and the time of night. And this was next to the Old Park Hotel that we stayed. But we had like 6-hour access to the jail.
Okay.
We were up there, and Ernest had caught that and mentioned that. So I guess it could be something shadow related because it's not a truck. It's too far away for that shape to be there. It's too high up. The angle's not right. So I don't know.
And so one of the things about the jail, I mean, I don't know if you mentioned, it has no electricity,
Mm-hmm.
none at all.
Yeah, no power.
None. And I mean, our K2 meters and our RAM pods were going off the entire time as if they were sitting on something, but there was nothing for them to sit on. There was nothing live. There was nothing that could have triggered that other than what we all know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, no, I caught that one for sure. Like, she pointed that out. I was like, so
You saw that, right?
I know everybody's a 50-50 on this compared to, do you guys believe in orbs or more orbs or shadow figures or?
I'm personally the more skeptic about orbs than any other thing that you catch on video.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, me personally, I feel like the orbs is just,
You never.
the lens is not able to focus on dust particles completely.
Yeah.
So it looks like a fuzzy ball. But then again, we've seen orbs that like,
There's no way they could have
there's
moved
no
that
way, the way they move, it's like, how do you explain that? It's just, orbs to me are a little bit.
The direct.
Yeah, no, we've seen videos of orbs literally coming down and like full on turning around and going right back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we catch a lot of those.
What was the one that we watched? And might have been on like the YouTube shorts or whatever. There was a lady sitting in like a child's room with a teddy bear in there, and you could literally see, I don't know if it was like AI generated or like somebody made it, but it was a little orb that was circling her, and then it stood for a second, and like she pointed, like put her finger out like this. And the orb literally came out and touched her finger and flew away, and it was circling around her the whole time.
Oh, the thing with that was she was sitting in her office area, and she looked down at her security camera on her phone because it said that the camera was picking up on movement while she was in the room, and she doesn't see anything in front of her, but on her security camera she sees this orb, and that's when she starts holding her finger out to try and see if she could touch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like a little glowing ball of light.
Like we were just watching that. I'm like, is that like, because you never know with the technology that they have now, anybody can make anything now. So
we lied. We do actually have one more video to show.
What?
We had 2 videos, but we have one more right there. Yep.
No, that's the one that we did for Sally.
Oh, I guess we already did that one.
No more videos.
I mean, technically we have one, but it's the question of the week.
So everybody knows that everybody's watched this for 20 episodes now. Every week we do a question of the week. We like to get your guys' opinion on this, and anybody that wants to put their opinions in the comments. Here's the question of the week.
I love how the big D word has come up this entire episode. And because of
Well,
that question.
like, the pictures that I found was Sally House and Feliska, and I just figured this would be a good question for anybody in the comments or you guys. Do you believe that child spirits, when you come in contact, you've mentioned it a couple of times during our conversation, do you believe children are demonic, or
Children's spirits can be demonic?
So I firmly believe that demonic spirits will take on the form of a child spirit to trick you.
Right.
I do not think that a genuine child spirit is demonic. You know, with the research and the data that supports it, I mean, the demonic spirits, that is their nature to trick you and get you to kind of go towards and like let that in, and they will trick you into thinking that something is safe and nice, and and that's kind of my theory on it, just because I'm a data person, and just that's what supports that piece for me.
Exactly. I feel that same way.
Got you. Anybody else like to share their opinion? Or
Yeah, I believe the same thing, that children don't come back and become demonic spirits. Maybe some point in their life they were just taken over by a demon at some point, or a demon just decides to become that.
Right.
Yeah, I cannot believe that kids, would come back as demons.
But then I guess that does kind of bring up the question: when a demon comes to be, like, whatever, is it born? Is it created? Do they age? Is there demon children that grow up to be adult demons? Like, are the adult demons going to
Mike has just went down his DD has kicked in.
I was gonna say, I've met some pretty demon childs,
We're not about the unliving, not the living.
Yes. So we have
We're
one.
talking about spirits here.
Right. And I also think that you can feel.
Yeah.
We've investigated a lot of places that had spirits of children or things happen to children there. And you had the feeling of heavy and sadness for the kids, but you were never in fear. You did not feel the uncomfortable burden of weight on you, versus when you go somewhere that you do know possibly has, or, there has been talk of the demonic spirits being there, or especially like with Toby, it's a totally different feeling. And he there does take on the form of a child, and will play it to the T. Like, he plays the role. And if you are not versed in the history or how those things transpire, like, you could easily fall for it. But the feeling is different. It's I don't know how to explain it. You just know.
Like an intuition.
No.
You can tell when somebody's BSing you in real life. It might be a similar. It could be a very similar feeling, just on a different level.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I feel that.
We speaking of children, like I've been through Penhurst multiple times, and not really say that they were children, but they had a child mindset. They and like, I completely understand the whole feeling of being a child there, where I've been in places like Eastern State Penitentiary, and like, you could feel really bad. Like, I walked into one cell and literally walked in and walked out. I was like, nope, not doing it. Nope. Like, I don't know what was in that cell, but I walked in and I felt something not very happy that I was there, and I just walked out and kept walking. I was like, nope. Not doing it. Not today. But
So-
we have. Go ahead.
Our manor is very much like that because of all the roles that it did play.
Yeah.
There was adults there that had the child mindset.
Right.
And again, the feeling that with that is different versus there was also people there because it was an institution. And, back then they didn't technically diagnose people with certain things. They would just institutionalize them,
Right.
whether they were of malice or not. But the feeling when you walk into one of their rooms, totally different.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have a couple people, and I have one question that I want to ask before we go, but I want to put our viewers,
Let you guys see our comments.
reverse that. I believe the D word can disguise himself as children. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I love how this has become the new curse word in the paranormal world.
Say it, it will happen.
Well, see, yeah. Not really, but I think those spirits can be mimics like with Sally.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Got you.
definitely. Sally House, when you walk in,
Yeah.
I had hairs on my neck when I walked up the stairs. It was just the feeling
Yeah.
really weird. And never felt that way anywhere we've been.
Now, when you guys dealt with Sally and you dealt with Toby, was it the same experience or like the D word wise? Was it the same energy or completely
I think
different?
Sally House had more energy because it revealed itself, or it made itself known.
Very.
Were you
Very
gonna say
known.
which one was the worst coming back? That would describe it.
Haunted Hill House.
And then Ernest seeing red eyes this time, so we kind of followed a pattern.
Yeah. Got you.
I do say
So-
one thing about Haunted Hill House. That investigation, I had a lot of nightmares after that.
Mm.
Sally House so far, I'm okay. No nightmares.
I'll sleep
Yeah, we
like
do.
that.
We do believe in cleansing and saging and
Yeah.
polish onto wood. That
Absolutely.
sort. We do as much as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one thing that I preach to people all the time. Number one, out of any investigation, no matter what you do, is stay safe.
I got
Yeah.
saged twice after the
Like-
Gilchrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. We
Good
I
enough.
got, yeah.
my buddy owns a haunted jail in Trenton, Florida, called the old Gilchrist County Jail, and we were just there we were part of a para-unity convention in October. And we went to go investigate the jail after, and we were probably in there for 15 minutes. And I was under the SS method, and
I got rushed out.
we have a crazy connection. Like from the moment we met, we knew we were like connected, and we were supposed to be doing this together. And you know, I had to throw that. I had to throw that hallmark in real quick. You know.
Choke on that a little.
But- Like the connection that we have, I was under the SS method, and I have no clue what anybody's saying. And all I said was behind.
No, Ryan was saying, but like you were
Yeah,
saying
she
behind.
knows more about it because I was under. I don't
Yeah.
know.
He was saying behind, and Ryan said, "Oh, are you behind me?" And then you said female. So behind female, and I felt like somebody was rushing at me, ready to take me down, tackle me to the ground. And all I hear is him calling my name for me to come back because he was worried. And as soon as I came back, I said, "I feel like I just got attacked."
Yeah.
And I felt like I was being choked. And we actually had the EVP of, "I feel like I just got attacked. I feel like somebody's choking me. I need to get out of here." And in between me saying, "I feel like somebody just choked me. I need to get out of here," there's an EVP of, "I did."
Yeah. So the whole time that I was under the SS method, like I said that, and I put my headphones on, and I was like, "Where is Sarah? Where is Sarah?" And that's right when she got rushed. And like I have full goosebumps. All the hair was up on my arm. Like,
Oh yeah,
I knew something
flew
was
down.
going on.
I
And-
flew down them stairs. I've never run so fast in my life in a dress before.
Yeah.
I got some flip flops just down the stairs over a group of people. Like, I'm not staying in here. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
y'all can have fun in this creepy jail.
Yeah. If you ever get to Florida, we definitely like to link up, and we have a couple locations that we're friends with here. So if you need any guidance or anything here in Florida, hit us up, and we'll definitely be able to help you guys.
Yeah,
Can I
same
get both y'all's opinion on something? And I'm
Yes,
very
sir.
personal about this. Do spirits have senses? Like,
Yeah.
can they smell?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
And I'm gonna tell you why I asked that question in a minute.
How would they smell?
Dang, I want to think about this all night.
Because they can certainly hear you.
Right. They can
They can
interact
touch you.
with you. They know you're there. Supposedly. Nobody knows for sure 100%, or
Yeah.
nobody would be doing this.
That's a good
Okay,
question.
so a friend of mine and I stayed at the Haunted Magnolia Hotel in Magnolia, Texas, or Seguin, Texas. And we did an experiment. We did an EVP burst session of about 10 minutes of complete silence. And we were sitting in the kitchen, complete silence, 10 minutes. And then we listened to the EVP, and there was footsteps that we heard that were near us. So we did another EVP session, and she suggested, hey, let's open up this peppermint patty and see what happens. So we put it right next to the recorder. And lo and behold, on audio, we have like a sniffing sound. So that's why I was asking that. I never ever thought
That's
that
a
would happen.
very intelligent ghost.
Like, because I know you can get like phantom smells,
Yeah.
like perfume and flowers and all that cigarette smoke. And I wonder if they can smell that too. Like,
I don't know. Something was curious about it. So
why would you do this to me?
And to think about it, do they themselves have a smell? Because I know that we've been in places where, I mean, it has the stench of cigarette smoke. And like multiple people can go up there and smell it, but it can also dissipate.
Yeah, just vanish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember your
Well, like I have a story for that. Like after my great grandma passed away, I leaned over to give my girlfriend at the time a kiss goodnight, saying goodnight. And I rolled back over, and it literally smelled like somebody took a thing of baby powder and like poofed it in my face. Like, it's a very distinct smell. And like I looked over and I was like, please tell me you smell that. Like, she's like, smell what? No, she didn't smell anything. So like scents and all that, I feel like that's a way of like giving you a hint, like, hey, I'm here, come and hang out with me. But yeah, that was like literally right after maybe a day after my great grandma passed away.
Wow.
Like I called my grandma and I was like, did Grandma Sarah ever wear baby powder? And she's like, yeah, every day. Like she would get out of the shower and put baby powder on, and I feel like that was my great grandma coming to visit me one more time. Maybe that's, I don't know for sure, but I 100% smelled baby powder, like out of nowhere. We didn't even own it in the house at all. So I don't.
Well, we were just laughing about Yorktown Memorial Hospital, probably the worst smelling place we've ever been to.
Yeah.
I mean, it smelled like carcass in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And poor Mike and I were the only ones sleeping inside. He was sleeping in a sleeping bag in the foyer, and I just was sleeping like this, all covered because it was cold. But I couldn't take
the smell was so bad, it was causing me to have a migraine, and I had to go sleep in the truck at the end of the night. Like, it was that bad.
Wow.
Was it just the environment from being abandoned, or?
It's possible.
The basement smelled really bad at
Yeah,
times, like
real
death,
kinda
like
dank.
actually rotting flesh.
But that had the heaviest feeling of the entire building.
Yeah,
The basement.
The basement was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Real dank.
So you said that was like you said that used to be an asylum and all
Well,
that, and a hospital.
it was a hospital for a very long time, and then it was like a drug rehab center. Before
Okay,
it closed in the 80s.
Kind of like a half.
got you.
Yeah.
Because I know I've worked at a couple hospitals myself, and a couple wards. I'm like, what the heck is that? Like,
Yeah.
it literally smelled like somebody was walking around with like a full adult diaper, just walking around. Like that's the best way I could describe it.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
yeah.
So like maybe that's just the phantom smells of
Mm.
that environment, the way that it used to. I don't know.
Could be. It was nasty.
Yeah.
But we have one more question. Being able to
Read it out loud.
I can't.
Claire aliens? Claire
Yeah,
aliens?
aliens. The ability to smell phantom smells that others cannot. I would imagine both entities and humans can do that.
I didn't know that.
That would be
I didn't even know. I didn't even know how to pronounce that name.
Well, they do stuff. I want to say they say that your sense of smell is one of the strongest tied to your memory too.
Yeah.
That could be something there.
I got a question for you. Do you believe after you die, you leave with all your senses, or you only get certain ones?
Mm. Maybe you have the same senses, they're just different. Like
altered?
Like you're in another dimension.
Like
another
Mike, you're gonna
reality.
need glasses when you die.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But I'm not.
Oh, I already need glasses now. My eyesight can't get any
I've
better.
worn glasses since I was like 12 years old. So,
Can't get any worse.
So before we go, do you guys have anything to promote? Any investigations coming? Actually,
We have a question on Facebook. Are any of you any of you psycho pomps as well? If you don't mind me asking, I don't even know what it is.
Psycho what?
Do you guys know what psycho pumps is?
Psycho
Pumps? Is that like the movie?
No.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Is that like really crazy like hype?
Death guides.
Death guides.
Oh, death guides?
Death guides.
Oh, I don't.
no,
I don't think I am.
I'm an empath, but like I'm definitely not a death guide. The whole reason I even got into this were things that happened to me like as a child, and also in my early adulthood. I've had 3 family members pass that didn't live with me. So one would be like my dad. I dreamed the night he passed away, and I called my mom and she let me know he passed. I dreamed about my grandmother passing. I called my mom and to go check on her. Mind you, they're an hour and a half away. She went to go check on her and found her dead in her bedroom on the floor. And the same thing with an aunt, and she lived in San Antonio, and we lived in Bryan at the time. But usually close loved ones, I'll have a dream of them passing. And then if I call a relative the next day, that's usually when it happened.
Right. It's kind of like nursing homes with like cats.
Yeah.
Like you see a cat at the end of your bed, you'll probably die within the 24 hours. That was the thing about the hospital I worked at too. They said they saw a little boy in the rooms, and then like maybe 2 hours later they would die, like in the hospice wing of the hospital.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's the Grim Reaper as a child form, or I don't know. But before we go, is there anything that you guys would like to promote, or any investigations coming up, or?
Well, we have a podcast. Ernest and I do a lot of it together. It comes out every 2 weeks from like late October to the end of May, and it's places that we've been to. We'll talk about. It's a little unusual sometimes at the beginning
Right.
of it,
Got you.
and then we'll talk about places now that we haven't gone to. And then we just started recently doing like live podcasts, places like Sally House and McIntyre Villa. We just recorded it live and then we'll release it. That comes out. That's on any podcasting platform right now. It's under Misfit Apparitions. Investigation wise, we tend to take a break. We got some time off coming up. Since we were all working education, we get an enormous amount of time off at the end of the year.
Right.
We haven't planned anything for this break.
That's like hence why our investigations are during cold months.
Yeah, that's why
I was gonna say either winter break or summer break.
Yeah.
Well, we did an investigation this summer at a fort, and it was the worst. It was our very first investigation that Mike, Ernest, and I at Presidio de la Bahia in Goliad, this fort from the 16th, 17th century.
Wow.
And during the Battle of the Texas Revolution. But it was not the quarters that we stayed at was not well insulated. Like pickets of wood would be the door, and with this much space underneath it for snakes to crawl in or whatever.
And the walls are rocks. Just
Rocks, to retain the heat. And
yeah.
Even though the thermostat said 78, it definitely felt like 98. And that was just a really hot night.
Yeah.
But yeah, we said we'd never do that again. So, but we don't have anything. We talked about going back to Sally House. And maybe doing Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. But I think we want to focus more on Texas, what we can find around here. The El Paso trip would be pretty cool.
Navasota is right down the road.
Navasota, yes.
It's literally right down the road.
There are a lot of historical buildings in Navasota.
So yeah, if anyone's listening and has connection to those, like reach out to us. We're game.
We're on all the socials, so
easy to find. Awesome. Well, I want to greatly appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us and tell us about your experiences on the paranormal.
Yes, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been almost 2 hours. High
five. This is our longest podcast so far. No, it's cool. I had so much fun.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to welcome you guys to the Underworld family.
If you guys have any
thank you for having us.
Definitely.
Let us know.
Yeah, if you ever make it to Florida and do investigations, we gladly come in and hang out and collaborate with you guys.
That sounds great.
Same here.
Same here.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great holiday too.
You
too. Of course, you too.
Thank you.
We'll definitely keep in touch with you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Good night.
So thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a night.
Everyone watching on our Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and whatever else we're on, because we're on a lot. Thank you guys.
All right. What do you guys think of the videos? Let us know in the comments below. Go to YouTube. Hit our likes. If you watch this tonight, I dropped a hint. Next week, I'm going to drop another hint.
And I'm going to forget all about it.
Yes. All right. Good night, guys.
Thank you. We love
Remember,
you. Stay spooky.
Always stay spooky, friends.